All right. Another calculator tutorial for you. If you're looking at this one, it's probably in chapter 3. So what we're after here is basically 3 things. I want to show you how to calculate your line of best fit, your least squares regression line, and your R value. That's all in the same place, by the way. I just want to show you how to get to it. And then I'll show you how to make a scatter plot. Okay. First things first, though, is if we were to do any of this, as always, our calculator needs the data. Okay. The data I have is from the standing mixers from section 1. And I believe there's 11 pieces of data. You can certainly feel free to pause at this point and, if you can't reference it from your notes to get it in. I'll scroll down here. There's the first 7. And there's the last point at number 11. You may recall from the lesson that we messed around with that last point a whole bunch. I'm not going to. It's just this. If you wanted to like recalculate R, this is where you would go. You would just change that point 8 and 30. That's the point that I was playing around with to show you how influential that calculation of R is. Okay. So take a second. Make sure your data is good and entered. And then we go to Stat, Calc. You can just hit 8. I'm going to show you the feature that you're going to pick. There it is. Linear regression A plus BX. Enter and enter again. And we have a gold mine. Okay. We have A and B. Right. Notice it gives you a reference up at the top that A is your y-intercept and B is your slope. Okay. R squared, we'll use that number a little bit. It is as simple as it's your R value squared. And there's R. That goes back to the first one we did in the notes for section 1 where it was 0.74 before we messed around with that point. Typically speaking, if you want any measurements for a regression line, this is where you'd go. Right? In class, you'll probably hear the term stat calc 8 come up a bunch. That's all related to regression lines and finding R and all that stuff. Okay. Now to kind of just get a quick visual of a possible association, okay, I want to show you how to make a quick scatter plot. If you hit second y equals, you have all these different, statistical plots, which the calculator just calls stat plots. Okay. We just need one of them. I go into it. I want to make sure it's on. And then I can go and pick the type. Okay. And this will come up later on because if we wanted a histogram, we can do it. If we want a box plot, we could do it. Okay. Those 3 on different occasions, we may want to make one really quickly. List 1 is my X values. List 2 is my Y. Everything is good there. So basically, I have the plot that I want turned on. All right. Data's in, plot's on. This next button is like magic. We'll use it all the time. All the calculator needs at this point to make us a nice scatter plot are kind of the scale factors for your X and your Y axis. Like how big should X go and how high should Y go? We could tell it. There's a feature to do that, but there's an easier way, and it's under the zoom button. Okay, I'm not even going to scroll down to the feature because you'll get to know this so well because you'll love it. It's zoom 9. Okay. That feature tells the calculator, for the right dimensions for the scatter plot, you go make them. You can decide. So as soon as we hit 9, the calculator's like, oh, I got it. And it picks the right axes And there's your scatter plot. Okay. A case that we would do this is just that if we want to very quickly observe a possible association, right? I can see from there that, I already knew the R value was 0.74. So I knew it's moderate, positive, and it does look somewhat linear. Okay. The scatter plot on the calculator, again, is really good for that. Just a general observation. Anything more than that? Probably not, because if you took any one of those points, right, what are the coordinates? Well, the calculator doesn't give you like a visual of the numbers on the number line to know what the scale factor is and to identify exactly what those points are. Okay, so if you wanted like really accurate details about the scatter plot, this isn't that great. Okay, but for just in general observing the association quickly, it's wonderful for that.